If you've been looking for a game that will make you feel like
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu. You wanna fight? Then fight me. And boy, is there a lot of fighting in Dragon Fist. But let's cover the basics first, shall we? In solo mode, you'll be basically taking on a huge amount of enemies. Some with kind of characteristics of characters you may know, and some with a little more of a look of characters that you may recognise. And then there's the arenas. And again, these have quite a large selection. And although you have to repeat some of them in order to take on all the characters in the game, I felt there was enough, in fact more than I actually thought, for the price tag. And don't worry, you're not just blindly fighting each character one after the other for no reason, because the solo mode is actually a humongous campaign that will have you fighting through all those characters I mentioned before, all inspired from martial art characters through the decades. Like your old wise masters, Shaolin monks, Bruce Lee inspired characters, and some pretty damn cool female kung fu students. There's even samurais and ninjas to take on. And that's not even the best thing. You get to play all of these characters as you unlock them during your progress, as well as unlocking different arenas. But what we're really after here is decent combat, and this has it in spades. I was actually blown away by the obviousness and also how well it's implemented. The devs have actually managed to fit in all the different elements of Kung Fu, and I would definitely recommend watching the tutorial for all the little things you can do. Movement with the left stick whilst using the right stick to either jump or kick, depending on your stance. And then using the trigger button you can form a fist for punching, but you can also lay your fingers flat and do things like throat attacks or eye attacks, or just use your palms to hit them like a fist. Dragon Fist incorporates things like pressure points and the like, and you're able to like sweep someone's hand out of the way in order for you to get in there and hit some of these pressure points on their arms. And this can all be used in combination to do things like sweeping someone's arm out of the way, jabbing them in said arm, hitting them in the face, kicking them, double punching them, all whilst filling up your special move meter. And this is performed by hitting the A button, then following the move that's presented in front of you, and hopefully you're fast enough to do it. And trust me, these fights can get frantic in 1-to-1. But then I was shocked by having 2 opponents, and then 3 ninjas. And if any game has ever made me feel like I was in a movie scene, this really was it. Using a combination of moves on one opponent whilst making sure that you're looking around to slap away or kicking other opponents away as you try to defend yourself from all 3 at the same time. And I defy anyone, once you've gone through that, not to do a whooah at the end. Whooah. And as the wise Kung Fu master once said, like and subscribe for more. Weirdly enough, I wasn't planning on doing a review on this game so soon. I did have a couple of other things to do, and I thought I'll have a quick go just to see whether it's actually as good as people are saying. Hours later and multiple recharges of my Meta Quest, which I have to say is possibly the only downside, but even that's something you can't blame the game for. I have read that there are a few bugs here and there, but I haven't found any so far. Sure, if you wave your arms really erratically and in strange ways, it does do weird things, but I'm guessing this is because they're a decent dev team, but not actual magicians or miracle workers. So far, anything that's let the game down a little bit was the Meta Quest itself and their limitations within that. And trust me, there's plenty here to actually do, and the devs could have actually just stopped there, but they didn't. They added a full training arena where you can practice everything, fully learn all those pressure points and how to perform them. Everything is covered within there. And then there's a mode that I would have wanted a lot more, and hopefully they'll add a bit more to this. But basically you go through door after door into little rooms and perform little tasks, like hitting things with the right amount of power, or blocking things swinging towards you, or smashing vases that are swinging towards you from different areas. And then if you really want your mind blown, They've only gone and added multiple multiplayer modes. There's up to 8-player multiplayer PvP, which was pretty darn cool, but it's one of those hit and miss things again, as if you don't host the game, it all depends who's in those games and also what their age is as well, as depending on some of these factors, the experience can be slightly spoilt. I did play against one person that was obviously way better than I was, but then they introduced me to the co-op multiplayer, which I didn't even know about. I hadn't even seen it there because I was so intent on getting an online game. You basically, by what I gathered, play through the campaign with another person with you in co-op, and you get to face the characters of that arena, but with an extra character for the other person to fight. And this was cool. And something I did feel like they didn't need to put in, but they did, and much appreciated for it. Dragon's Fist really does ooze quality, and also love from the devs, like it's some sort of passion project for them. And this goes for the look of the game as well. It really does look amazing. Each arena feels different. There's even rain in some of these arenas. And although this didn't really impact the gameplay that much, it did feel and look really cool as you played. Each of the character models again looked pretty decent. There's even a mirror that you can go and look and peruse your character whenever you wish. Or even just pretend you got that six-pack you've been after. And then there were the bits where you weren't playing the game, whereas you'd be zoomed out looking in. For example, when you've completed an arena and you've won, you can circle your character and the enemy that's on the ground and look in more detail of the characters and the surroundings. I will also add the fact that you can still move your arms and everything whilst you're doing this. And if that's not freaking badass, I really don't know what is. Audio wise is just as good. It has that authentic feeling of those old and some of those new martial art movies that just, I don't know how to explain it. It just sounds right. And I'm pretty sure some people are probably going to say, well, you can't really get that wrong. But I don't care. I enjoyed it and it sounded right for what I wanted it to sound like. And that to me is pretty well all that matters. As for its workout rating, well, I haven't done the horse stance in so long, my back started hurting. It can be rather intensive and it's working other muscles I don't normally work whilst playing some of these games. I am at this moment trying to get into shape. As you can see, I've gained a few pounds. I'm going to blame Christmas for that. And I've been playing some VR games, especially to try to do a bit of cardio. Although I have skipped all of them in favour of this one at the moment, but I can guarantee I will be adding this one into my workout collection. And I will also be giving it a workout rating of a 7 out of 10, which is pretty darn good, trust me. And as for the overall score for Dragon's Fist VR Kung Fu, I have personally not played anything quite like this game. And due to the sheer amount of things that you can do in this game, modes and everything, and the love that you can feel that's gone into this game as well, I'll be giving it a 9 out of 10. That's right, 9 out of 10. I would say for anyone that's into martial arts or anything like that, this is a must-have. And I really do hope they'll be updating certain elements of the game in the future, as I can see myself playing this for a long while yet. So go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Let me know whether this piques your interest and whether you'll be picking it up. And I do try to answer every single comment. Feel free to like this video if you've enjoyed it, and also go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Come and join us in our community Discord, the link is down below. Be safe out there and take care. Thank you for joining me, because life is better when we game together.